Hi everybody, and welcome to another lesson. So I wanted to show you this project. I think we had talked about it in class a little bit. It was a self-portrait with sunglasses on. Now this one is made out of pencil and colored pencils, which you can do, but what I'm going to show you is the watercolor version. So here's the idea. I want you to look in the mirror and do a self-portrait. You're going to also pick out some sunglasses you like and draw some sunglasses. And in those sunglasses, you are going to draw where you'd rather be. I know we've been stuck at home for a while and doing a lot of the same stuff, but if you could be anywhere in the world, it could be as simple as going back to school, or it could be as exotic as traveling to a country you really want to see. You're going to show that reflection in your sunglasses. So I'm going to show you how to draw noses and mouths again. We don't have to bother with the eyes, and I am ready to go. Are you? Okay, here we go. I'm going to start out by drawing an oval for a face. Think about your own face. Is it a little bit more round? Here we go. And so I'm not going to draw very strongly because I'm going to want to erase some things. And so you're going to go about the middle of the face, and here you're going to draw sunglasses. I'm going to make my sunglasses much bigger than they normally would. That way I have lots of room to draw inside them. And they don't have to be perfectly the same size. So there. Now I'm going to erase the side of my head in the sunglasses. There we go. And then I'm going to draw the frames. You want to consider also how thick your frames are, because you can decorate those too. And then here, this is where the nose will be. And here's the other frame. So next thing I want to do is hair. This is why it's a good thing maybe to look in the mirror. My hair is pretty simple. I'm going to have it come up and around like this, behind the sunglasses. Here we go. I'm going to give myself a neck and some shoulders, and my hair is going to go over. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. I'm just sketching out where it could be. So you sketch out, and then whatever you don't like, you can erase. So next thing I want to work on is the nose. Remember how we were learning to do the nose? About halfway now between the bridge of your nose and your chin, about halfway, you're going to do a little circle. Really lightly, a circle. And then on the side, you're going to do this sort of hook. You gotta look at your own nose and see, is your nose a little wider here or not? And one of my students gave me a great tip in describing this. On the bottom, it's almost like a number 3 on the side. So I'm going up here, down around the circle, and down again. These are your nostrils. You want to color them in a little bit, make them darker. And then you want to bring up the nose. And you may not want the top circle, so you can erase that. There we go. We've got a nose. And now the mouth. How do I make the mouth? I start out with a little oval like this. And from that oval, I kind of give it some wings. They're kind of like these long triangles. And then I come around and I do the bottom lip. And then I can give myself little mountains here for the top lip. And then I go in and erase that first little oval I made. And here's a mouth. Maybe it's not exactly my mouth, but it works for this. And when I go in with watercolor, I can shade it. I'm going to give myself here some lines. And there we go. Here we have the drawing. Now, where do you want to be? Okay, so here we go. What you need now are your watercolors, a paintbrush or two, if you have them, that would be good, and some water in a jar. And so what we're going to start out with is the face. Now, you want to get some skin tone, and for that, you're going to use a lot of water, and you're going to use probably an orange. You have to think about your own skin tone. I'm using a bit of orange, and I am using a lot of water. Using a little bit of brown too as shadow. Let's do that. Remember how we were taking away color last time with the brush? That's something we can do too. So you can dry it on your paper towel, your brush, and then take some of the color away. Add water to lighten it. A little bit of the pencil may come out and darken areas. I wouldn't worry too much about it. If you go and your color is too strong, add more water to it. I got the neck, put a little bit of orange there. Oh, but maybe I want to highlight my nose a bit. There we go. I take some of the color out. And I keep going. Oh, notice I'm using this color that's a little bit more orange. I don't really want my forehead that orange, so I'm going to add a little bit of brown for the edges. Like this. And then I wipe my brush and take out and blend in the brown to the orange so that it kind of matches this. Maybe I'll add a little bit of brown to the edges of the sunglasses because there could be a little bit of a shadow from the sunglasses to my face. You see that? Oh, but look, right here, that's just too dark, isn't it? So I wet my brush and I blend that in so it's not so dark. See what I just did there? It's a little lighter. Okay, so that's me with a pretty good tan, I'd say. Next, I think I want to do my lips. I'm going to go for a reddish light pink. So again, a lot of water, and I'm going to go, that's a little too light. I'm going to go a little darker. And I think I want my top lip just slightly darker. There we go. I'm going to use my small brush to go in there and add a little shadow right in there, right where the lips meet. And the bottom of the lip, I think I want it lighter, so I'm gonna just add some white. No, I meant add some water to whiten it up. There we go. And same with the top of the lip. I think I want that area a little lighter, so I'm just adding some water and then soaking up the color. There. So that's looking pretty good. How are you guys doing? So now I'm going to work on my hair. Near the neck, there's more shadow. So I'm going to actually use a darker color. So if your hair is brown, you might want to use black. If your hair is black, you're going to use a darker black here and a lighter black, with basically black with more color on the edges. My hair is blonde, so I'm going to use brown for the shadow. And I'm going to go against the angle of my face. And you know what mistake I just did? I didn't erase my shoulder underneath the hair. And because I have blonde hair, that's going to show up. So right now, I'll leave that. But on the other end, I'm going to erase the shadow. Here we go. And then I can go back and add the brown for the shadow. And now I'm going to add the yellow, and I'm going to blend that in while it's still wet. And here too, I did not take away the pencil marks, and you know what, I'll just deal with it. Maybe I can incorporate it. I can go over it with some brown. Some yellow. Notice I'm keeping some pretty loose strokes with this. I'm not trying to tighten up and make small details. And right here, both colors were wet, so they're kind of blending into each other, and I like that. I can just keep adding dark strokes. And then if you use your paintbrush with less water too, you can make some strokes. Here we go. All right, so that's not bad. You can also color your shirt any color you want. And then you can color your frames. And that's up to you. Me, well, if you know me, you know I like orange. And so I'm going to make my frames orange. Go. Now what goes into your frames, that's up to you. If you want a tip, for example, if you're going to hold something, look at how your hand looks holding the object and try to copy that. If you want scenery, you could do the scenery. What I want to finish off with right now is a little bit more of the shadowing we were starting to do. For example, in my neck here, the edges could have some shadow. You see that? And you want to leave the middle of the neck lighter because it's coming towards you a little more. By adding shadow to the edges, you're showing the dimension. See that? Same here, again, under the glasses, I'm doing it kind of dark there, and then I can go in and blend it in with water. And let's say you look at this and you're horrified, you're like, oh my gosh, I really don't like the shadow this strong. And you're adding water and you're not liking it, well, you take your paper towel while it's still wet and you can sponge it off. See that? And then you can blend it in more. But the secret is don't let it dry before you sponge it off. So try to work a little quickly. I want a little shadow right here on this side of my nose. So you get the idea, I think. So I want you guys to play with this. Make your self-portrait. And let me see where you'd rather be. Please post it as soon as you're done. Happy painting.